What is going on with y'all, man? It's your boy Blue J Tay, and I'm back again with another video. And today I just wanted to get on here and speak to y'all about some very important lessons that, when I finally did learn and implement into my life, everything dramatically changed. And I'm pretty sure if you do the same thing, then you'll see results in your life. But the first one that I want to get into is the fact that discipline will take you much further than motivation will. When my mind became aware of this concept, not only did it impact my life, dramatically, but it put me in positions to not live for a sense of motivation. It put me in a position to not live for feeling like doing certain things. It was more so about a deep desire to get things done regardless of how I felt. If we strictly live our lives going based on feelings, then we'd never get nothing done in the simplest terms. There's some times where I may wake up tired, lazy, and just not feel like doing anything, but there's certain things that I have to do and get done regardless of how I feel. And this is exactly how we should program our minds to be able to get things done. Consistency, being disciplined, these things will take you much further than any form of motivation will. The next thing that I learned that also really impacted my life was the fact that not everyone deserves access to you. And it's important to keep in mind that this could be family, this can be friends, or just anyone in general. And when I learned this, I stopped people pleasing. Because I used to always be somebody that felt like if you're around me for a long period of time, that I have to serve you in some way, shape, or form. Just because you may be related to somebody or have similar DNA makeup does not mean that you owe them anything. If people are not serving you, whether it's family, friends, whatever it may be, then they simply do not deserve access to you. Cut each and every person out of your life that is not providing you value. Now, the thing is, you cannot look elsewhere with hopes that people serve you if you are not able to serve people as well. You have to make sure that you're pouring into others so that you get that same thing in return. And this next one that I'm gonna get into is huge, and it's how peace is more valuable than attention. I know at times we can be trained or at least programmed to want to be pedestalized and want to be looked at a certain way, pretty much being of high value. And with this form of attention that comes with being high value, oftentimes people, lose peace. They get put in a position where they may jeopardize their happiness, and it's all because they want to be validated. And I know this because I used to be like this when I was younger. I used to be somebody who lived for attention. I used to be somebody who constantly needed people around me in order to feel something because I could not sit with my own thoughts and be content with who I was. But one thing that I realized that I always lacked during that time was peace. So when I removed myself, when I removed all the attention from the people around me to the distractions, I finally was able to find that true sense of peace within myself. And this is very important, in terms of just building a life that you want to live, building a healthy family or just maintaining healthy relationships or friendships. You want to be somebody that is a reflection of this, that you want to invite into your life. The third thing that I want to get into, and this may be the fourth, I forgot, but pain is not a punishment. Pain is a teacher. I feel like so many people have this bad perception of pain because it's not something that we necessarily want to go through, and that's fine. Oftentimes it makes us feel some type of way. It makes us question life. It makes us question the things or the people that we have around us, because nobody likes to go through physical, emotional, spiritual, any form of pain that exists, because it simply puts you in this low vibrational state that is oftentimes hard to escape. But I'm here to let you know today that pain is not a punishment. Pain is something that should put you in a completely different headspace so that next time, whenever you're faced with any type of hardship, you have that experience. You'll never know that you're capable of overcoming something until you do it once. You'll never know the pain that you can go through until you witnessed it. Think about our first heartbreak that we may have ever had. When you first go through that heartbreak, a lot of us didn't even feel like we wanted to live. I don't know about y'all, but I couldn't even eat when I had my first heartbreak. I was sick to my stomach. And this same concept applies to life. It's not something that should completely tear you down, and it's all about your perception, but you should definitely use it to your best advantage, because pain can teach you a lot. Being able to continuously progress and get through those hardships, knowing how to persevere, is something that you can use throughout your entire life, understanding that as long as I keep going, I know that there's going to be valuable lessons at the end of this hardship that I'm faced with. Right now it's not gonna feel good, and that's okay, but I have to keep going because pain is not a punishment. Pain is a teacher. Next, you can outgrow people without hating them. And this one is so important because I feel like so many people don't understand how much of a necessity it is for you to not have any hatred in your heart. This isn't something that is negotiable. Like when you're moving on, when you're growing, when you're elevating, you cannot envy, you cannot hate, you cannot, feel this form of hatred towards anybody. It's okay to move on. It's okay to decide to go out and be great and simply outgrow those that you may have been around. But what it's not okay to do is hate somebody. You don't need to hate them in order to outgrow them. I feel like that's where the level of maturity comes in, because somebody who may not be there mentally yet, whether it's emotionally or just anything that they may deal with at this very moment, is probably going to have to use that form of hatred in order to fully move on and overlook whatever it is that they may have went through. But somebody with a sense of emotional maturity will understand that, okay, I don't have to hate this person. And actually, I love them and I care about them. But I just love me more. I just care about myself a little more. So I'm going to allow myself to outgrow them in the healthiest way possible, and I'll wish them the best. And this one really gets to me because I used to deal with somebody that used to always want to end on bad terms. And it never made sense to me why they wanted to argue in order to, fully walk away. It couldn't be done through a mutual conversation that was based on respect and maturity. It had to always be some form of confrontation. And then I realized that some people genuinely need to feel like they hate others in order to move on or let go. I don't know why, but this is just how some people think. And the lesson here is the fact that you don't have to do that. If you feel like you have to hate somebody to move on, then this is more about you than that person. This is more about your true character and who you are within than anything else that you may be dealing with in your current reality. The next thing that I want you to understand, because this is something that the world is literally driven by. People wake up and chase it every day. People fiend for it. People need it. We all need it to survive. But money is important, yes, but your health is way more valuable. Money is going to come and go. But this temple, our body, this is what we have to live with for our entire existence here on this earth. If you're not taking care of yourself, whether it's working out, whether it's, eating right, whatever the case may be, and it's not even always just about physical. A lot of these things are internal, mentally, making sure where you're at where you need to be. If you're not taking care of yourself, then you will not be able to get what you want to get out of your life. We need to start treating our bodies like the temples that they are. Love yourself. Treat yourself like the delicate human being you are. I'll never forget this analogy. I was watching this one dude's YouTube video, and it really enlightened me in terms of how, human we really are. But he said, and this is going to sound kind of crazy, but he said, if I was to literally put my hands around your neck and squeeze for 10 seconds, you would probably go unconscious. Just doing something that small just shows you how human, how delicate we are. We have to start treating ourselves like the humans that we are and taking care of our bodies and working on ourselves to the point where, we can live longer, we can be healthier, and we can be happier. Because when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you're able to be a reflection of this positive energy that you feel. So it just benefits everyone around you, man. So take care of yourself. It's okay to chase the money. It's okay to grind and work towards the things that you want. But more importantly, your health should be one of the main priorities. The last thing that I'm going to touch up on, because I feel like this is something that, discourages so many people. But if you take it day by day, because look, let me give you an example. If I was to think about the end goal right now while I'm doing this YouTube thing, and it's been a little over a year and a half, if my mind was so set forth on trying to get 1 million subscribers or whatever the case may be, not only will I not be living in this present moment and enjoying, the one or two comments that I get once in a while, it would put me in a position mentally where I would feel like I'm failing because my mind is so set forth on an outcome that hasn't even happened in my life yet that I can't even allow myself to be present and be thankful for, the feedback and the support that I do have at this very moment. So do not allow the idea of where you want to be to take away from you giving thanks to where you are at this very moment. I know it's not where you want to be, but the small wins, I promise you, each and every day that you wake up and show up for yourself, at some point, you will be rewarded for that work that you're putting in. It says it in the Bible, and I'll say this so often, but you reap what you sow. I don't know when, but I know at some point God will bless you and He will reward you for the work that you're putting in. So you just have to keep going. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.